Hey man, you ever look into flat Earth?
Alright, the approximate distance that I'm taking this video over is at about 80 feet at the most to the flowers, the flowering bush back there. By the way, that's a what they call common name is a fire bush or a butterfly plant. Butterflies really like them. Hummingbirds do, and they grow like crazy here. To get back to this optics, though, you can start noticing, how the diffraction line is actually blocking out what you would normally see there. If there was a boat, um, a little bit past that can, sitting flat out there, you could see how that diffraction line would actually block out the lower portion of the boat, just like it's blocking out the lower portion of that little underneath the panel there, and how it's also blocking out the bottom of the can. Now you can see this distortion line is on a kind of like an angle, and I do believe that that's caused by the angle of the sun, where the sun is angled in the sky, and it angles upward as it gets away, goes away. And again, here I add this water. Still no luck with creating the steam. Again, I think that has to do with the steam is coming up, and after a rainfall, the air is much cooler, and that actually helps, you know, show, makes the actual water more visible. And then you see that water, the visibility of that water and how it illuminates and how it blocks out and even can magnify things. Just like this diffraction line is actually causing the mirroring, and the mirroring between the concrete and the bottom of the gate is creating this optical effect there. It's actually even magnifying the grass, in my opinion. Now, other people may see it differently, and I don't see it that way. Here shortly, I'm going to speed it up right after this transition. And, well, kind of the reason why is because right after this point, I usually just walk away from my camera, let it just do its thing, and let the natural light and everything just occur. Um, so you can actually see it in fast motion. Um, you can see how the diffraction line is moving up and down, how the distortion is, you know, wiggling around, um, how the bottom of the can is, moving. It looks like it's moving up and down, but it's just the mirroring itself is being raised and lowered. Um, and that's what I was talking about with it creates this raised up mirroring effect where it's almost like putting that mirror on a little slight angle. Now, on this distance, just think if my visibility was perfect, uh, no light diffraction, no nothing, and I could, uh, focus in perfectly on the grass at the very bottom. Okay, that would be like perfect conditions. Well, I don't think we ever have perfect conditions for seeing unless you're in a very, very cold, dry area, say, Alaska or the Antarctic, or the Arctic or the Antarctic. Um, what's really funny is they call it the Antarctic Circle or the Arctic Circle in the north, but they just call it the Antarctic in the south. But what if that's the opposite way around and it's the Antarctic Circle uh, encircling Earth itself? That's another way. These are just thoughts that go through my mind. And that ain't 100% what I believe. Um, because I do think that there is a possibility of something, the plane going farther and farther. But that's just something to ponder. It's nothing that I say for sure. Here's some natural audio.
I caught it again right at the last minute. Look how the grass appears behind the fence, but then look how the flowers look above it, which are farther beyond it, beyond that grass. My driveway takes a sharp right after the gate. Well, look at the difference in the focus, and I don't know if I can even focus on that grass unless I zoom in on it, and then it's going to be distorted, I'm sure. As close as I can zoom in, really. See if I can focus on it. Back up just a tad.
Again, I got this sped up 5 times the speed. I walk away from the camera, and again, I just let the light just do its thing. Um, but even that can, it's like a paint can, spray can of some sort. I think it's Crayola or something. But now think about how it's diffraction, right? It's diffracting the light too. By diffracting the light, it's actually magnifying it because it's making it look bigger than what it is. And if you look just below the fence, you can actually see how it's being protruded outward. And you can see how much bigger it actually looks by that very bottom. And then again, look at how that mirroring is just below the can, where the white is, how it's pulling it up and down. So even the mirroring is distortion. Um, and again, I say that this is what causes this ramping up effect. It's just the light ramping up. Um, and again, the diffraction is what actually is blocking out the boat. Also, if the boat is being magnified there too, it's even pulling it down even more into that diffraction line. You can see this same effect occurring on my boat videos, where one day where I have much clearer visibility, you can actually see the bottom of the boat, you can see the wake of the boat, and then on days where I have heavy refraction um, or heavy diffraction, which, by the way, you got to figure out which one you want to call it, because I think it's a combination of both, and there's all different combinations. Like again, if there was a rain and I slowed it back down here again, and then I'm trying to focus in, just show you different focuses of how I'm focusing in on it. Well, I'm thinking to myself, well, what if I was focusing on something beyond the flowers? Okay, that's what would happen to everything below it in that band. And then watch how I start focusing on the concrete and how you see these objects that you didn't see before. They're hidden in that diffraction. So, when people say things can't get hidden or obscured, um, I mean, this is really visual proof of it. And somebody might say, well, you're messing with the focus. Well, that's the thing, is you're focused on something further away. This is what causes this light diffraction coming up and blocking you out. Plain and simple. It's obvious that these are all optical effects due to the way the focus and everything works, even the way your eyes work. Now, a lot of the boats that I film, I cannot see them with my eyes due to the light a lot of times, but my camera can zoom right in and perfectly see the entire boat in the water. Again, I cut these short and sped them up to make them quicker, faster. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice night.